cash some of those big checks that those first rounders get, especially back then in 2007 when they actually made a ton of money. But I wouldn't trade my story for anything. I really grateful for the opportunities I had, and take pride in the fact that I was an undrafted free agent.
We love that. We love that story, and we like to hear about that, like guys that just kind of grind and make the team. One thing I wanted to ask about was, what was the transition like going from Mangini to Rex Ryan? What's like the biggest difference between like their two styles? Because we do know Mangini's more of the he's an analyst now, so we see him on TV, and he's you can see when we talk about he comes from Belichick, you can see those characteristics with him. Or Rex Ryan's more of a kind of a loud personality, kind of the way his father was, and also his other brother is too. What's the biggest kind of difference that happened whenever kind of Rex Ryan took over the team?
Yeah, I think that when Rex took over, it was really kind of a shell shock because we were so used to Eric and his system, which again is very, micromanaging. He's gonna, which I liked, I needed. Again, I wouldn't have made the team without it. Rex is very much, listen, we're just gonna win on Sundays, and I want to have fun at the facility. And so when Eric was the coach, you were showing up to work, and it was work, all the time. When Rex was the head coach, you were showing up to work, and you were going to have fun. You were going to have fun at work, and you were going to enjoy it. And there was a relationship with the coaching staff. We were really friends with the coaching staff as well, and so you had a respect for them, for the coaches as your coaches. But you would also go out to the bar with them on Saturday night, Friday night, and hang out with them, and so it really was a fun dynamic. And so again, my career, I had the whole spectrum of coaches. I had Eric Mangini, who's on that one side, that strict micromanaging side. I had Rex on the total opposite end of the spectrum, right, which is very much kind of do what you want to do. We're just going to win on Sunday. And then I had Andy Reid, which is right in the middle, right? So he more hands-on than Rex. There's little things, little details that he cared about. At the same time, not as much of a micromanager as Eric was. Gonna treat you as men and let you do your thing and have fun. And so I think all three styles have their benefits. And it was great for my career to get to experience all three styles of coaches. And again, moving forward, if I ever decide to get into coaching, I'll have three really good examples to pull from.
Well, I've got a question. We've heard how great the Hunt family is and what they've done for the NFL and the AFC. Kind of give us did you ever have much interaction with them? And when you want to get into coaching, talk to Coach Gary Carl over there. He can help you
out. Yeah. No, the Hunt family is great. And I think that a lot of teams preach the fact that they're a family, right? Everyone wants to talk about how this is it's a family, the organization, the team, the locker room, the media. And I don't think it's lived out any better than in Kansas City. And I think that starts with Mr. Hunt and everybody up top there. They really instill that in us all the way across the board, right? Whether it be the business side of things or the media or the players in the locker room or the coaches. They make sure that we recognize that it's a family, that we care about each other, we look out for each other. And those are the teams that are going to win. Those are the teams that are constantly going to be in the playoffs. Those are the teams that are going to be able to overcome adversity. Remember, 2015, we started, 1-5,
yep,
and then won 10 in a row.
Yep.
You can't do that without a team that's a family. And you see it year in and year out with Kansas City. I mean, the guys love each other, and I still talk to those guys over there and they treat me as part of the team. I still talk to the guys over there that I know, and so that family relationship, that family bond, isn't easily broken. And that makes a difference. You have Patrick Mahomes, obviously, and you have all the all-stars that they have, and now you couple that with the fact that that team really cares about each other, and I don't see why they can't, win the Super Bowl every year. I mean, D4 doesn't go off sides 2 years ago, and now you're talking about the second Super Bowl they won this year. So yeah, grateful to have been a part of that team, and Clark Hunt, I'm grateful for him for bringing me over, and all the relationships I've been able to build and keep because of that family philosophy that they really preach and live out.
Well, I mean, you include Brad G, that whole media staff in there at One Arrowhead Drive. But where were you? Were you at the Super Bowl, or where were you at? And how was that? I mean, did you still feel...
I was home. So I got the two young boys. So it's hard to get clearance to leave the house for much of anything but grocery shopping. But no, I was home and rooting for my buddies. I don't think I could have been around people. For me, it's hard to watch the game. It's stressful, and I don't feel like I'm in control like I used to when I was playing. It's a lot more stressful for me to watch the games as a fan, and so I wouldn't have been good to be around, especially going into the fourth quarter. But yeah, no, I was home and on the couch, just kind of chewing on my fingernails. I think I'm still recovering from chewing on my fingernails, but yeah, no, I didn't end up going down there to Florida. But you know what? I think with these guys again, I'm gonna have a couple opportunities here in the future to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but it was a fun ride through the playoffs. But I don't want that kind of heart attack season again. Do you guys?
Yeah. So let's rewind a little bit. You know, you were talking about your time in Kansas City. We were talking a little before the show about how you got here, but why don't you share with the viewers kind of your story of leaving the Jets and then transitioning and coming and signing with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, so my defensive coordinator my first couple of years in New York, and then linebackers coach my last few years was Bob Sutton. And so when Coach Reed came over to Kansas City from Philly, he took Bob with him to be his defensive coordinator. And Bob and Andy brought me along. I was going into my free agent year, 2013, so I was a free agent from the Jets, and Bob brought me along out there to Kansas City with him to help install that defense and get things going. And so that was really fun, and I take a lot of pride in the fact that we were there from day one, you know, and building the foundation and being a part of that, and just a small part of that. I mean, when you look at the leaders that were already in that locker room, guys like Eric Berry and Derek Johnson and Justin Houston and Tamba Hali, man, it was a fun locker room to be a part of, to go in and see all those legends in there and how selfless and humble they were. So it was really an incredible, you know, time in my career to get to be around those guys. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun out there in Kansas City, and outside of 2014, you know, we were in the playoffs every year. And so when you're in that Kansas City fan base too, I mean, the fan base is just like nothing I've ever been around. They're incredible. And so to get Kansas City from a 2-14 season to a 11-5 and in the playoffs, and then constantly doing that, and then right after I leave, they're back to back AFC West champions. Then they win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's just it's incredible to see the progression and how things have taken off from those first couple of years. And so proud to have been a part of it.
One thing I've talked about is how the Chiefs kind of changed with kind of the mindset and kind of where they were at. So before you got here, like you said, 2-14, we had our general manager was Scott Pioli, head coach Romeo Crennel. We had gone from Todd Haley before, kind of all over the place, and we kind of knew that Pioli was also kind of from the Patriots background. Clark Hunt was trying to kind of recreate what the Patriots had going on and kind of that mindset and all that stuff. What is one of the main kind of, I don't know, characteristics or driving forces that happens that you can actually take a 2-14 team and the next year win 11 games and make the playoffs? I mean, because we know what happened. We bring guys like you in. We bring in, we take out Matt Castle. We bring in Alex Smith. I mean, is it as simple as just kind of bringing in veteran guys that kind of just know what it takes to win?
Honestly, I have to put it on the coaching staff. The guys were there. I mean, when you look at the Pro Bowl, I don't know, that year and the year after, I mean, it was all Kansas City Chiefs players.
Yeah.
I mean, you had all those guys on defense. You had, I mean, it was just, the team was stacked. Dwayne Bowe, I mean, everybody was in the locker room. You know, you had Pro Bowlers all over the place. So I think it was just righting the ship and and getting things in the right direction. I think bringing in a leader like Alex Smith obviously helps big time. You need a leader like that, especially at the quarterback position, and his ability to eat up the clock and make plays and get the offense going. That's obviously incredibly important. But I think for the most part, the central core of that team was there. It was just about Andy Reid bringing in his winning philosophy. And I've never been around anybody that's so systematic in their approach that by the way he goes about things, that he knows how to win. He knows what it takes to win. So it's easy to follow him. And I think that you see that coming in, usually the first year with a new coach, you have some speed bumps and you're getting used to a new system. And Coach Reid comes 2013 and we go 9-0 in the first 9 games. It's just, he's an easy guy to follow. Guys buy in quickly. And so again, the unit was there. The central core unit was there. It was just about, getting things pointed in the right direction. Andy Reid and his coaching staff did that, and they did it quick.
Yeah, Andy Reid, coming over from Philadelphia, and a lot of people had said, media-wise, that, he was the guy who just kind of couldn't get over that hump. In Philly, had made 4 straight NFC championships, went to 1 Super Bowl, lost to a good New England team that year. But he had a winning philosophy there in Philadelphia. And so in the NFL as a player, I know you guys hear that because, you hear different stuff, but do you guys ever buy into anything like that a coach just can't get you over that hump? No, I don't think so. I think, somebody had put out a meme or something like that where they showed all the quarterbacks representing the AFC from the year 2000 to the year 2019. And outside of Joe Flacco, it was Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Ben Roethlisberger. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? So you need a quarterback. You need a quarterback on that level to get you there. And so coaching goes so far, and Andy Reid's as good as they get. But if you don't have that caliber of quarterback, it becomes very difficult, especially in the AFC, with those guys to make it to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. And so finally getting Patrick Mahomes in that Andy Reid system, that's, you see with all those weapons, that's deadly. We're about to go through this schedule, and it's when you look at the matchups one-on-one, barring any injuries, I don't see a team that can compete with this team. And again, it goes into all the factors I talked about, the family factor, the fact that I know that everybody in that locker room cares about each other. Andy Reid and his philosophy and coaching style is better than anybody. And you got Patrick Mahomes and all those weapons. When you get that combination of things, it's deadly. But you need everything. There isn't just one secret special sauce, right? The coach can only do so much. The players got to play on Sunday. So Kansas City's done a great job of putting all the elements you need to win together. Yeah, and one thing I always try to preach, to our guys at the D-line is, control what you can control. But I know as people, how much easier is it, to go out there and try to make bigger plays or to play if you have a Patrick Mahomes type quarterback or an Alex Smith, over there that's not going to turn the ball over, and he's gonna do the things, and he can make some miraculous plays. How much easier is it to go do your job knowing that the offense kind of has your back?
Yeah, it makes a massive difference. I think back to the 2 years, 2009, 2010, when I was with the Jets, and we went to back-to-back AFC Championship games. And that was a year; those were 2 years that our offense was on fire. And I remember you can let it hang loose a little bit. You can, like you were saying, you can let it rip a little bit because hey, we're okay. We're good. We'll if we take a shot and miss, the offense will make up for it. But then 2011, 2012 comes, and our offense with New York had 52 interceptions, I think, over those 2 years. And so that is really ugly. I remember talking to the defensive players, and we were talking about telling Rex just to let us stay on the field because we were getting tired running to the sideline, and then having to run him right back out because the offense